We are living in a generation where we cannot live without technology, and somehow technology is a part of our daily life. But my dear friends, let me tell you that nowadays technology has become a challenge, especially the AI. So let's start our topic. First of all, I would ask to all of you to just imagine this. Suppose it's October 2020 and tensions between India and China are very high at Galwan hills. Suddenly, thousands of kilometers away in Mumbai, the whole city goes dark. Trains stop, hospitals running on their better powered, stock market halts. So the question is, was it a technical failure or was it a message? Well, investigations later suggested that it was a China-based malware which had been quietly planted in our power grid. So it was a cyber war, it was a message, you can say. So at that night, cyber was somehow knocked at our doors. And most of us even didn't hear about it. I think आप से कोई भी अगर मुंबई उस समय रहा होगा तो नहीं पता होगा कि ऐसा हुआ था. When we talk about cyber wars, so like traditionally जो wars होते हैं जिसमें tanks, we see tanks, guns, missiles. So we don't need these things in cyber war. Cyber war में क्या होता है कि we only need just a computer system. And friends, your phone is the better computer now. So आपका phone एक अच्छा computer आज के time में है. So with the help of a phone, you can or we can or anybody can do anything. We can hack systems, we can control, we can shut down electricity, we can shut down the whole internet. Even we can change the people's belief when it comes to a belief. So information warfare comes and it plays a very crucial role when we talk about information warfare, because the belief is a thing which could be used against you or me or against anybody. So I would like to share a very interesting case study here. In the year of 2012, actually what happened, Facebook conducted a psychological experiment on approximately 7 lakh people. So what happened, they divided them in two parts, group A, group B, and started their algorithm started sending like to group one most negative feeds on their timeline, and on another part to group B they started sending more positive feeds on their timeline. मतलब कि group A को ज़्यादा negative चीज़ें दिखती थी अपनी timeline पे और बगल में जो group D था उसको positive ज़्यादा दिखती थी. तो within a week what they found कि that particular group जिसको ज़्यादा negative चीज़ें भेजी गई, the negative group, they became more aggressive in behavior and they started posting so much more negative and aggressive things on their timeline. And on another hand, जब उन्होंने देखा कि जिनको पॉजिटिव फीड्स थी आती थी, they were so much happy. They found that वो बहुत ज़्यादा खुश हैं and they were posting positive things. So this experiment tests that what we see, what we hear, what we watch, how it affects our mindset and our beliefs. So whatever you're watching, maybe it can manipulate you. So please, in the world of, if it is related to cybersecurity, please do not trust anything blindly. Because recently, 2 weeks ago, a 16-year-old US United States boy, he, committed suicide. Why? Just because he was very friendly with ChatGPT. ChatGPT से दोस्ती कर लिया. Just try the algorithm, how it works. Try to ask a question in a form of यार, hey यार, बता क्या कर चल रहा है. वो भी रिवर बैट वैसे ही करेगा. सब cool चल रहा है यार. Something like that. And according to the allegations of their parents, because they have filed a case against OpenAI, so in the allegations they have said that ChatGPT asked that somehow it encouraged and manipulated the teen to commit the suicide. So it's very horrific and very terrified case. So this is how our beliefs about if we are believing so much in a technology or anything, it could affect us. I always remember this first kinetic cyber war. जो पहला kinetic cyber war हुआ था वो Stuxnet को ही लेके हुआ था. आप में से सोचता कि लोग जानते हो Stuxnet बेसिकली एक मैलवेयर बनाया गया था जिसको इसकी स्टोरी बता देता हूँ थोड़ा सा. What happened in the year of 2004, US and Israel came to know that Iran is making nuclear weapons. So they had the option, obviously, to bomb me the nuclear plant. But बहुत सारे consequences भी हो सकते थे. Maybe war, maybe World War III. But so they decided to do something else. So US and Israel, their agencies worked together and they made something which is called Stuxnet. And this was the first kinetic kind of warfare, you can say, cyber warfare. So what they did, they planted this malware in their nuclear plant. और इसने क्या किया Stuxnet में कि उसने it started looking for the machine which controls the routers. It is also called PLC. If आप में से कुछ लोग जानते होंगे PLC, programmable logic controller. So it started looking for a particular thing which composes the routers. And for 2 months, it silently read all the readings. And for the next 2 months, it changed the rotating speed of the nuclear power plant. And just because of that, Iran had to, close down its nuclear project in the year of 2004. Just imagine what bombs couldn't do, a piece of malware did. So that's why we call it the first kinetic cyber warfare. Story यही खत्म नहीं हुई. तो somehow Iran woke up and they decided that they will make their own cyber army. And they created their own APT groups. APT groups means advanced procedure threat groups. Basically, हर country के पास रहते हैं. Every country has their own APT groups. And sometimes directly, sometimes indirectly, they support them, to whenever as per their requirement. So Iran came with their own APT groups, and one of their dangerous groups called Alfie. So in the year of 2012, Alfie created Shamoon, which you just saw in the video. So it created the Shamoon virus, and they attacked what? They attacked the Saudi Aramco, which is world's largest oil company. And they attacked Saudi Aramco and wiped out approximately 35,000 computer systems. All the hard disk, all the data got, erased. So in a single attack, millions of dollars they lost. But they didn't stop, वहीं पे नहीं रुके. They again, Paraback 2012 में किया, 2012, the again came with Shamoon 2. And second wave came in the year between 2016 and 17. And the virus was same, target was same, but this time they also targeted Saudi government and some private organizations. And in third, फिर उसके बाद जब तीसरी वेव आई, third wave, in third wave they targeted Saudi Aramco, government of Saudi, as well as Bahrain's national oil company. Why? Why they targeted Bahrain? Because they wanted to, send a message to all the Gulf nations allied with United States. Sony Picture hack. So how can you forget that a simple comedy could, trigger attackers or threat actors, you can say. In 2014, what happened? A movie was about to be released, and the name of the movie was That Interview. So it was basically a comedy movie. And in this movie, the president of North Korea, he was being assassinated. So what they did, when North Koreans came to know about it, they started a massive attack against Sony Pictures Entertainment. And they destroyed everything, like their whole database, every files, everything was public. And like nowadays we see data breaches. So things were like that. And they had to cancel the release of this movie, which was supposed to do the release at Christmas. They canceled the release, as well as they lost $200 million instantly within few seconds. Ransomware. the birth of ransomware. So we, you know, first ransomware came in the existence. I think most of you might be thinking of WannaCry, but let me tell you here that first ransomware attack held in the year 1989. उसका नाम था AIDS Trojan. Why AIDS Trojan? Because AIDS conference उसमें हो रही थी US में. So they distributed it via floppy disk. मान लो पीसी सिस्टम में वो चली गई तो वो सिस्टम लगभग 90 टाइम्स रिबूट होता था और उसके बाद वो उसकी सारी फाइल्स जो है वो इनक्रिप्टेड हो जाती थी. उसके बाद फिर आया दौर दूसरा जो नया दौर आया जहाँ पे हम बोलते हैं साइकोलॉजिकल वॉरफेयर, where as per United Nations, the national security agencies, Microsoft exploit got leaked by a hacking group called Shadowbreaker. And so as per then Shadowbreaker leaked the codes, and that's why it gave the birth to WannaCry. And when WannaCry hit it hit around 150 countries. You can say almost all across the globe. And was targeted more in Russia, followed by Ukraine and in India. Our ATMs were, you know, closed. Why? Because they were outdated and running on Windows XP. So that's why. So in the year of 2022, where AIMS Delhi was under ransomware attack. You know, 22 days, for 22 days, such a giant hospital where people take appointment 6 months or an year earlier. So, you know, they attacked a Chinese group called Chamel Gang. They attacked our AIMS Delhi. And it was unoperational for 22 days. So it affected somehow, you can say, million of lives. And in documentation, it is said that they did it for 200 crore rupees ransom of 200 crore rupees. But for me, it was a cyber war because it affected the lives of millions. So when I was talking about the misinformation, there is an example of misinformation cyber war. In the year of 2012, Assam violence aftermath. You know what happened in cities like Pune, Mumbai, Bengaluru, and two more cities. A message, threatening messages, some doctored images, some MS videos started spreading, and they were just it was just a misinformation, but it created a panic in northeast, especially Assamese. So what happened? All the Assamese. They had to, you know, left only from Bengaluru alone. From Bengaluru, around 30,000 northeast people left the city. Indian airports. I was also a victim of this when this incident happened on July 19th, 2024. Why? Because of a faulty Microsoft update. What happened? You know, on every big at every big airport, all the screens went off. Only blue screen. We can't see the flight status. Even boarding process, you can see handwritten boarding passes, manual checking. So somehow security protocols got compromised just because of what? A faulty patch or update. So if you talk about cyber defense, India's defense against them, so you know, at the time of G20, when our country held G20 in 2023, 26,000 attacks were happening every second. Just imagine 26,000. 1.6 million attacks had been reported in a minute. So, but our agencies like I4C, Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center of Ministry of Home Affairs and CERT, so they were able to block these attacks. During Operation Sindoor, when multinationals came together with Pakistan, whether it was Turkey, Bangladesh, Malaysia, or Indonesia, they also attacked us, our cyber world. But again, you would be surprised to see only they were able to succeed in just 150 cases of 1.5 million. So there is a lesson to learn. So what to learn? They are all please always remember, whenever you click any button, consider it is that a bullet. Whenever you use a strong password, consider it as a shield. Whenever you use multi-factor authentication, so consider it as a bulletproof shield. And wherever you safeguard yourself, you keep yourself up to date, so you can say that you are a soldier. So because the future was हो सकता है future was जो है हमारे ही तरीके से डली जाए. As you can see on the screen, the pager attack, I think you all are aware of this attack. The pager attack, हिजबुल्लाह के अगेंस्ट जो हुआ था pager attack, उसके बाद next day what happened? Walkie-talkie attack. So if you don't know about these attacks, pager attack and walkie-talkie attack, just Google it and you will come to know about. So please do remember, we are also dependent on other countries when it comes to the equipments we use for our daily lives, whether it is our smartphone, the earbuds we use, or anything. So please keep yourself safe and always remember this very final verse, that आप अपनी पर्सनल फिजिकल लाइफ को जितना सेफ रखते हैं, प्लीज कीप योर डिजिटल लाइफ as much as safe as you keep your physical life safe. Thank you so much.